Hey guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to another video. We're gonna see how to download Windows ISO file today. And there are various ways of downloading a Windows ISO. We're not gonna see anything about downloading ISOs from third-party websites. Please do not download ISO files from third-party websites. If you want a genuine Windows ISO file, download it directly from Microsoft. The first way, the very general way of downloading a Windows ISO file, most people will prefer this method. It is using the Windows installation media. So download the tool. I've already downloaded it. I'm gonna download again. So media creation tool, open it. It's gonna give you this screen. Okay, accept the licensing agreement. It's gonna give you these two options. If you want an ISO file, you need to choose this. Next. And it'll automatically detect what Windows version is currently running in your computer. And based on that, it's gonna give you the best operating system for your computer. If you want to customize, if you want to change things up, you can do that by unchecking this. Even if you uncheck this, it's only gonna give you the option to change language and the architecture. The operating system is gonna be the same. You need a media creation tool for specific version of Windows. This is for Windows 10. So it is only going to give you a Windows 10 option. If you want Windows 11, you need to download the media creation tool for Windows 11. It's not going to give you that option here. Okay. And I'll just leave it as it is. Click on next. And you can either burn it to the flash drive directly or you can create an ISO. This is what we want. So create the ISO. Click on next. It's going to download the ISO file. I've already downloaded it, so I'm going to quit. Okay, and that's one way of doing it. The second way is to download it directly from Microsoft website, and you use the tool now to download the ISO file. And at least this is the only option that they are giving for Windows 10 nowadays. I'm not sure. It's only giving you the media creation tool. You cannot download the ISO directly. And I'm going to download a Windows 11 ISO to show you that option. Okay, you can see Windows 11 installation assistant, media creation tool, and ISO. So this is what we saw for Windows 10. This was the only option that they gave there. Not sure why. And for Windows 11, it's giving you all three options. And you know what will happen in this method? It's going to download a tool and that'll download the ISO file. This is what I want to show you guys. You can directly download the ISO file from the website. All you need to do is choose Windows 11, click on download, and then choose the language, confirm, and it's going to give you the 64-bit download. So click on this and it'll download the ISO file. I've downloaded this already as well, so I'm going to close it. And I'm going to show you the difference between these two methods. What's the difference? So both these websites are from Microsoft. We downloaded it directly from Microsoft. But there is a difference between these two ISO files. Yeah, of course, it is Windows 10 and Windows 11, but that's not what I want to show you guys today. I'm going to extract the contents of the ISO. I'm using 7-zip. You can use anything you want. WinRAR, WinZip. Okay, so this is Windows 11 and this is Windows 10. So if you open it, everything looks the same. You need to go inside the sources folder, look for a file that says install. Okay, this is the main difference, and you can see that this format is .esd and this is .wim, and this is called electronic software download format, and this is a Windows image format. So they have specific use cases. ESD is the one that you usually get when you're downloading it from Microsoft directly. This is highly compressed and it is encrypted. File size will be, see the difference? It's 3.6 gigs and this one is 4.5 gigs. So this is much more compressed and smaller, and this is not that small. Say for example, you are somebody who wants to customize your Windows operating system, like not just changing the wallpaper and customizing the settings. I'm not talking about that. If you want to customize the ISO file right from the ISO, you want to remove the components from Windows operating system. You don't use certain components. You want to remove them from the operating system. You want to include something in the operating system, say for example some drivers or Windows updates. You need a file with this format WIM to make those customizations. You cannot do it here. If you have a file with .esd and you're trying to customize the ISO, it's not possible, and because it is encrypted and also compressed, it's going to be extremely difficult, and in most cases customization is not possible. But it's possible here. If you're trying to use some tools to customize the Windows ISO files, they may even give you options to convert the file from .esd to .wim, but as far as I've seen, most of them are not accurate. They're not going to be functioning properly. You can use command prompt and you can use a command to convert ESD to WIM, but that's one more step that you have to do to customize your ISO file, and sometimes it gives you trouble as well. So if you want to customize a Windows ISO file, I suggest downloading it in this way. If you're not getting the .wim file when you're downloading the ISO, you're only getting the ESD file, all you need to do is open this same website from where you download the ISO. You need to open the developer options page. So in your keyboard, press Ctrl Shift and I. So that will open up this page. I've already used this page, so it is remembering my selection and giving me the option for iPhone X. And what you need to do is, once you press the keys, it will give you this the codes in the side, and the left hand side will have the web page. You need to press this button here, the toggle device toolbar. So this is what you will see normally. You need to come here, click on this, and this will change based on your selection from this toolbar. So you can change it to any device that you want, and from here do the same thing that you did there. Choose the operating system, choose the language, whatever language you want. Every single time you download from here, it's only going to give you a .wim file. There won't be a ESD file when you're downloading it using this method. Okay. So there is a third way of downloading ISO files. It's UUP dump. This is a website that's been around for a long time now, and this is a genuine website. I told you that we are going to download Windows ISO directly from Microsoft and not going to use any third-party websites. This is a third-party website, but there is a difference. So if you come here and you're trying to download the ISO file, what this is going to do is it will give you a script based on your selections from here, and that script will download all the files necessary to create an ISO file from the Microsoft server, not from third party. So everything that it is going to do, every file that it is going to download is directly from the Microsoft servers. It is definitely not third party. It's a genuine website, and you can download the ISO files from here. Even Linus Tech Tips had a video showing you how to download Windows ISOs using this website. And if you're asking me, this website, using this website to download Windows ISO is the best way to download ISO files. There is a reason for that, because it gives you a lot of options. Like let me show you. If I'm choosing Windows 11, I'm going to search for Windows 11. You can see that it is giving you all the list of options here. These are nothing but, you can see the dates and the architecture here. So every time there is a new update released by Microsoft, it's going to be updated here. They keep this updated very regularly. And most of these files will be for preview builds. So inside of previews, developer channel, etc., etc. And what we need is not the preview ones. I'm going to download a Windows 11 21H2. That's the latest version. say 61 builds available as of today. And as you can see, the last time it got updated, last time Microsoft updated Windows 11 is on November 19th. So it's a cumulative update. I'm gonna click on that. Yeah, make sure you're downloading the right version. I mean, if it is a 64-bit or if you have an ARM device, so make sure you're downloading the right one. I'm gonna download this AMD 64. And the next page will ask you for the language selection. Choose that. And the third page, it'll give you options to include or exclude editions. So if you want all the versions, all the editions of Windows to be present in the ISO, choose everything. And if you need a specific version, a specific edition of Windows, choose that alone here. So I'm gonna choose just Home. I don't need Windows Home N, Pro N. Just gonna use this Home because this is the general version of operating system that will be found in most computers. When you're buying a new computer, it comes with Windows Home by default. Most computers that come nowadays comes with Windows Home Edition. And only if you pay extra and you want Windows Pro Edition to be specifically installed in the system, that's when you will get different editions of Windows, but generally you will get Home. I'm just going to choose this now. You choose whatever you want. If you have a Pro key, use Windows Pro. I'm just going to use Home. And if you choose this, you can see if you choose Windows Home, single language, it's going to be installed as an additional edition. It'll give you the option to choose when you are installing Windows. And if you choose Pro, it is going to give you all these editions: Pro, Education, Enterprise, etc., etc. Click on Next. And this is where all the magic happens. So it gives you 3 different options. And the first one is just download the files. I don't need to use any customizations, so that's that. And this is the option to download the ISO. It is going to be the same ISO that you're downloading from the Microsoft website. No more customizations are available here. The same ISO file from the Microsoft server, okay? The third one is where you can customize. So choose that. You can see it is showing you download, add additional editions, and convert to ISO. So here you can see the option to include updates. So whatever Windows updates are available till today, everything is going to be included in the ISO out of the box. You don't need to do anything. It is going to download all the files, merge it together, and create an ISO file out of it. So it's very easy. Component cleanup it's a function of DISM. It will run the cleanup of the Windows components. Whatever is not required, it's going to clean it up. It's a little too technical, but choosing this option is not going to give you any trouble. Integrate .NET Framework 3.5. Yes, and this is something that is not going to be included in the ISO file. If you're downloading it from Microsoft, it will download the .NET Framework 3.5 manually via the Windows updates after you install the operating system. So you can install it directly in the ISO here. That's a good option. Why do we need this? And there are still many programs and softwares that actually require this, but it's not going to be included by default in Windows ISOs. What we get nowadays is .NET Framework 4.2, I guess. So this is something that is very essential. So make sure you're including it. And this is where you choose whether you want a ESD file or a WIM file. If you want a compressed file, you need a smaller file, you need to choose this option, and it'll give you a ESD file. It'll be compressed and the file size will be less. And if you are somebody who want to download this ISO and then customize the Windows components after that, you need to uncheck this one. It'll give you the WIM format. Select additional editions. You can leave it as it is. Whichever version of Windows you have, make sure that edition is listed here so that you can activate your Windows later on. Okay. And now you can create the download package. Let me just save it in desktop. And as you can see, I'm going to extract it using 7-zip. So look at the file size, 7 megabytes. That's not an ISO, right? This is just a script, and this script is going to download the ISO files directly from Microsoft with all the customizations that you mentioned. Okay, so this is the file that you need to open. You can either do it as run as admin or just open it. Either ways, it's going to work fine. I'm going to use run as admin. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. It will open a command prompt window and it will start downloading all the components. And when it is downloading all these files, you can actually look at them. You can see like everything is downloading from Microsoft server and nothing is getting downloaded from any third-party websites. So this is safe to download. What this is doing is just giving you a script based on your selections and customizations, and you don't have to do any work extra. So every customization that you selected there, like I want this version of Windows, I don't want this version, I want a WIM file, not a ESD file, I want Windows updates to be included inside the ISO, everything is going to be done automatically now. It'll download everything from Microsoft, merge it into an ISO and give you the ISO file. And this is going to take some time based on your internet connection speed and your computer speed. It will take time. You don't have to worry if it is taking a very long time, because sometimes it takes time. Okay, so if you get stuck in this screen where it shows you image index, the number 1, what you need to do is download this file, go to their website, and in the same page, come down and you can see this area 2, download it, and come down and download the one for Windows 64-bit. Once you download it, extract it and run this. You just need to double click on it. You're not going to get any user interface or anything, just double click and run it. And once you do that, come here and you will see that it starts proceeding further. And there is some problem with the UUP to ISO converter from Windows. From time to time, it will give you this problem. And if you are encountering this problem, just download this file and run it, and it will continue further without any problems. Alright guys, it is completed now. Just press 0. Okay, now the ISO file will be found in the same folder where you ran the script. There it is. So this is the ISO file that you downloaded now using UUP dump. Okay, if you extract this and look at the sources, install.wim. So this is what you selected, and you got WIM. And that's about it. To sum it up, yeah, I showed you 3 different ways of downloading the Windows ISO file, and each method has specific use cases. The one that you download normally, this is for people who just want an ISO file. I need an ISO file that can be used to create a bootable USB stick, and I want to install the Windows operating system. I don't need any customizations in the ISO file. I don't want Windows updates to be included. I just need the Windows operating system to be installed and booted up. So this is a very general and normal way of downloading Windows ISO, and everybody knows about this, and this is the most generally used method of downloading Windows ISO. The second one is downloading the ISO file from the Microsoft's website using the ISO download option, and this will give you a WIM file instead of the ESD file that this download option gives you. The only difference is this is ESD and this is WIM, and ESD cannot be customized, WIM can be customized. That's the only difference. If you're not getting a WIM file when you're using this option, use the method that I told you. Go to the developer options page and download it from there. You will get a WIM file. And the third and final option is downloading it from the UUP dump. This is a little bit different, very time consuming, but the end result that you get will be something unique. You are never going to be able to download a Windows ISO directly from Microsoft with the options that you choose. Like, I want the Windows updates to be included in the ISO directly. I want only a specific edition of Windows to be available in the ISO, etc. etc. This also has specific use cases. Say for example, you're going to create a Windows edition and you are planning on removing the Windows update component completely from the ISO. You're not going to update Windows after that. Why do you want to do that, you ask? Yeah, people do that. Have you heard about this Windows 10 Ameliorated Edition? There is this edition of Windows where everything related to tracking and everything related to telemetry, Windows updates, Windows Defender, and most of the components of Windows like Windows Store, Windows apps, everything is removed. You only get a bare minimum Windows operating system. So the system resources used will be very less and it is going to be offline all the time. It's not going to ask you to log into Microsoft account or anything. There is no need to because there is no Windows Store, no Windows updates. This version of Windows is very bare minimal and this is a very popular edition of Windows, and this guy even mentions how to build this version yourself. There are steps you can perform yourself and create this kind of an operating system. So when you're doing something like this, Windows updates is no longer going to be available to you. So when you're creating the ISO, you want the up-to-date Windows operating system available. That's when this comes into play. You can download the ISO with the Windows updates already included in the ISO, and it's going to be an up-to-date operating system. So 3 different ways of downloading ISO, 3 different use cases. That's all I want to show you guys in this video. I'll make another video and show you how to create a customized Windows operating system for yourself. If you want to customize the Windows operating system based on your needs, like I don't want certain features, I want to include certain features, I want to include some drivers, I want to include the updates right out of the box inside the Windows ISO, and be sure to be subscribed and click that bell notification icon so that you will get notified when I'm posting that video. And if this video is a little bit helpful to you, if you think this is useful information, make sure you hit that like button and share it with your friends as well. Thank you so much for watching the video once again, guys. You guys have a great day and take care. Bye.